What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle, where we try to tackle difficult, controversial subjects, hopefully with passion and respect. This will be no different. I will at least try. There was a post the other day on Twitter, and this one was about a drag queen story hour in somewhere in New York City, NYC. Rep. Carolyn B. Maloney tweeted, across the country, books are being banned, which are depriving our nation's youth. But thanks to, this is New York Public Library, and programs like Draq Queen Story Hour, NYC's next generation are getting a well-rounded education about LGBTQ plus issues and gender identity. And here are the pictures that were posted with this tweet. And I want to give constructive criticism on both sides. A lot of people were replying with negative type of comments to it. I'll just show here. The quote teats will show you. Some people said it was going to get ratioed. Why are we acting like this is normal? And I think we are losing track of what the real problems are. Why do you hate children? I want the right. I don't even want to call it the right, but I don't even know what else to say it. People who don't support that, and that's not everybody on the right. So it's better to say people who don't support this drag queen story hour. And I will say I support it, but I have criticism. So I don't support it as it was presented there. The idea of it, I will show you what my feedback is. But for those that don't support it, they don't narrow down their area of concern. So it can look like you don't support it because you are against someone who identifies in the LGBTQ plus community or as a drag queen. And for most people who are against it, I can speak for myself. I'm not against the community or anybody who identifies like that. And I think most people who are against it, they also are not against it, against like the LGBTQ community or anybody who identifies as a drag queen or does drag queen, performances in their spare time. I don't think they're really against drag queens. It can come across like that. Here's what I said. For me, the real problem isn't anything about a man dressed as a woman. It doesn't matter. I have no concern about that. Reading to children. Here are my concerns. Why do we need to call it drag queen? Because there is a connotation. Well, connotation isn't even strong enough. If you're going to call yourself a drag queen, that there is some responsibility that comes with that. Meaning you're going to do a performance. There's a certain way you dress. It's exaggerated. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. If you don't do all that, why would you call it a drag queen? It wouldn't make any sense. So you have exaggerated dress, exaggerated feminine mannerisms, that's not a problem. The problem is that there's a sexuality that comes with the title of drag queen. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm open to always being wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong there. With drag queen comes an underlining tone of sexuality. And that's fine at a nightclub. That's fine with adults. It's not fine with children. So if you call something drag queen, it should have nothing to do with a public library story time for kids or a school story time for kids. You're using public resources for this. Drag queen is not something for kids. And I said the attire isn't appropriate for children. And in my opinion, this attire is not appropriate for children. Tell me where am I wrong? Like maybe some people disagree. Help me understand. Is it just am I just too old or what am I saying here? Because it's too short. The skirt is too short. That's not appropriate for children. And it's appropriate for a drag queen like performance or, going out or something like that, which is, I have no problem with that. That's fine. If you want to do that, I have zero problem with that. I've never been to a drag show. I'll go to one. I like Gaga. I like disco. They do those type of songs. I like some Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, a lot of different artists that they might lip sync to. Patty Page. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. So I would probably enjoy some of that stuff. So I have nothing against that. But that doesn't have a place in school though. It shouldn't be in school. So I said, the other thing is the books shouldn't teach opinions as facts. So she's talking about educating children on LGBTQ issues and gender identity. And these are things that are up for debate. So those things shouldn't be taught as fact to children. That's inappropriate. Nothing that's an opinion should be taught. You shouldn't be teaching anything, in my opinion, to kids that's opinion as fact. So I have no problem I'll go to this here. I did this on the other channel. I talked about the Middleton High School performance by one of their teachers. So they do this art performance week and they have their teachers, which is cool. They have their teachers perform, show what their talents are. And one of the teachers did a drag show type performance. Again, same thing applies. The attire is not right. The title living up to the drag queen title, that's not appropriate for a school setting. If they're 18 or older outside of school, in a bar or wherever, that's perfectly different. That's different. The attire is not right. And then this wasn't a story hour or anything, so I assume the song was, age appropriate. So it's not like there was a book that was teaching opinion as fact. So I think that's inappropriate for school. And I got some comments on that video. Let me show a comment. I did a video that kind of reacted to that. And one of the comments I got here, appreciate the comment from Master Cube. Master Cube says, as a parent in the district, there's nothing wrong with it. Not one parent would have an issue if this was a woman. They let their child watch TikTok and YouTube with no restrictions. But this is the issue? Parents allow kids to do whatever they want, watch whatever they want, but want to be throwing shade at the school? Please. There was nothing wrong with this performance, and there was no grooming, as people need to know what that actually means. Your kids are being more groomed by their interactions with the internet, and parents don't pay attention. Keep on, Middleton High School. Glad to see you support people of all walks of life. And as in John 4:8, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. And that's a respectful comment. Thank you. That's helping me form my opinions, and I'll even pin that one. It's a really good comment. And even though there's a lot I disagree with, I'll start with the bottom one with the Bible quote. There's nothing here that says I don't love, just as a general love from citizen to citizen or person to person for that teacher that's in drag or the drag queen who's reading at the story hour. Who said that there was no love there? I said it wasn't appropriate for children. That doesn't mean there's no love. There's a time and place for everything. And I laid out my case why. As a parent in the district, they feel like there's nothing wrong. Your argument about TikTok is irrelevant. It's true that you let their children watch TikTok and YouTube with no restrictions. That's where this G word is going. I'm not really into that term just because it's just been overused, the grooming term. But that's irrelevant. What does that have to do with the drag performance at school? That's something that happens outside school. If parents are failing outside school or they're okay with it outside school and don't want it in school, that's still perfectly legit. As far as the kind of indoctrinating kids, I wouldn't use that term with the drag queen performance. But here's what I would say is I had another comment on here where some people didn't like it, who alleged to be at the school. So somebody said, as somebody who was there, they actually said it was okay and nothing was wrong about what he did. And then someone else said there, as someone else who was in the PAC on 4th Block Friday, I think the whole act was completely unnecessary. I don't care that the teacher does drag. The fact that the teacher went on stage dressed the way they did and publicly exposed themselves was definitely a no-go. As students, we went to watch the teacher's fine arts show, not a fully grown man expose himself to minors. So that's an opinion from somebody who's saying that they were there. So everybody doesn't agree. Everybody doesn't feel the same way. I'll end with this. For this one where the drag performance, because it's like a talent show. If the talent was, this one was tough because the talent was the drag queen, and that's not, you might have talents that are not appropriate for school. But let's say that same teacher could play the violin or piano, and they dressed up in, as a woman. I don't want to say drag because it has that connotation. Say they dressed up as a woman, but they were dressed appropriately for the occasion, for a school setting, and played the piano, violin, juggled, whatever they did. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. You're dressed professionally, you're showing your talent, you're school appropriate. It's not, and this person, Jake, said it's not the drag part. So I just want to narrow it down. Let me know. That's my constructive criticism. And that's why I'm in the middle. You see why I'm in the middle of so many of these issues, because I'm not against this person at all. I would not have my kid. I would have to talk to my wife, see what she feels. I think she's a little bit more open to that than I am, but I would not want my kid at a drag queen story hour. That makes no sense. But if you're dressed as a woman, you're reading Dr. Seuss or something like that, a neutral book, and you're dressed appropriately, I have no problem with that. Well, let me know what you think. Take care.